So I'm Phil Alalouf. I'm with the coach of the Greater Vancouver Canadians, Major Midget BC hockey. So I've been coaching the Greater Vancouver Canadians for the last Major Midget team for the last 4 years. Prior to that, it's been Bantam Midget between Richmond, mostly South Delta, and most of my time was for, like say, the Bantams, second-year Bantams. Most of the struggles I think that they run is usually the people around them, the influence, the stresses of trying to get to the next level, trying to understand what they need to do in order to get there, trying to follow in somebody else's footsteps rather than their own path, and not getting the right information to be successful in that. I would say probably for sports agents and advisors, the most important for them is obviously being truthful to their players, to the parents, give them the right tools in their toolbox to do the right things. It comes from obviously direction and advice coming from their experience, and being able to give them stuff like the nutrition, the training, give them avenues. I know of having kids been through this, a lot of times as parents we always try to come up with what we feel is best, whether it's dryland training or we think that they should be on ice all the time. These guys spend so much time with so many different athletes, it gives them an opportunity to sit there and say, hey, you know what, this is what's best for you, and then be able to set that up for them. I think, personal opinion on it is I think that first year Bantam is probably the best time, 13 years old. Gives them an opportunity to kind of 2-year path of where they want to be before they do hit midget, which is either going to be the major midget or it's going to be going off on a draft somewhere. So. Avoid a lot of chatter. You get a lot of people that have their opinions of who they should go with rather than actually doing their homework. And there's some great names out there that are agents, some guys that have been around for a long time. That's not always the best answer. I hate to use the Jerry Maguire philosophy, but its reality is you got to go with somebody that's going to fit the personality for your child. And I think when you're making your phone calls, it's just like they're interviewing you, you should be interviewing them. Find out how many clients they have and what their focus is going to be and what their commitment is going to be to be able to help them. To me as a coach, as much as I tell my players that I'm open to have conversations with their parents about certain things, it's more important for me to have a conversation with the players, even more important than it is to have with the agents. So one thing I respect from the agents is when they actually give you your space, you have a beginning conversation, you understand where they're, what the expectation is from the player, as well as if they're moving on to major junior, that team is looking for a certain aspect from that player. And so they reiterate, give you that information. And then from there, it's really about having the parent, if they have any concerns, they should be channeling it through the agent or family advisor, have them come and talk to me if there's an issue, but everything else should be between the player and myself. I met Cliff, I would say probably 3-4 years ago, when I was actually on the look for somebody to advise for my son, which is now playing junior, what to do, because again, I've got 2 boys, both much older, I've been through the junior program, went through the Bantam drafts, all the areas that concern parents and where to go and what to do. And being a coach and a parent, been through it, I still don't have all the answers. And so when it came to my own son, my youngest son, I went to find somebody that was going to be able to represent and help us, give me better advice, even with my experience. And met with Cliff, had a few conversations. The interview that I talked about, he actually interviewed my son interviewed him, had a comfort between us, and decided to go forward. And since then it's been great. He's the conversations that we've had has been very open and honest, enough that I felt comfortable to have him come to our own major team and give them as an option. And most of the guys that are on our team, we give them options of a few different agents, because I think it's important for them to have a choice. And again, at the end of it, he's done well for them as far as helping them and give them some direction without forcing them to be, part of the group sort of idea. So it's been good. Yeah. So having obviously I deal with quite a few different agents. I deal with agents that are been around for a very long time, and they've got a lot of pro contracts, and so they have the bling of the name, and they're great to deal with. You can tell that they're busy. They're just yep, great, next. I'll call you if I need something, sort of idea, and I sort of nod my head and say thanks for calling. Cliff, very personable. He's got a good sense of humor, easy to deal with, nothing too challenging. I've dealt with him, like I say, a couple of times over the summertime about other players and trying to help out each other. He's genuine.